Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to talk about every single indicator that you are going to need on your chart.
This is Bitcoin right here. We're going to go ahead and just use this easy chart, easy to understand. Everybody knows about Bitcoin. We're going to start up here in the daily. We're just going to start looking at the days and we're going to start plotting our support and resistance lines all over this chart. There's one line. As you can see, we got touch here, and then right here it kind of hesitates. There's one more line I'm going to add there. So I'm going to go ahead and take that chart line off just because we're not really going to have it in play anytime soon. Unless you're a big and long-term investor, then you can go ahead and leave it. But honestly, if you're a day trader, you do not need that. The price is never going to go up that much in one day unless something very significant happens. Just going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit here just so we can go ahead and get a line on what we got. So there is another one. That is your big support line. You can see how many touches you actually have down here. And honestly, I'm thinking it might go below that, judging just by how many touches you have there. And then we'll go one more line right there. And as you can see, the price is actually right between this resistance and support line. Okay, so there's your support and resistance on the daily chart. Now, if you want to draw a trend line, you can go ahead and zoom out a whole bunch here. And you can take a line, trend line over here. And you can just plot it from the top all the way down and just make a trend like this and like that. So this would be your trend line if you are one of the people who like to have trend lines. I'm not, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that off. Okay, so after we go ahead and plot our daily support and resistance lines, we can come over here to the 1 hour chart. Now this is the 1 hour chart, so you're going to have a little bit of a smaller time frame to work with. So just realize any line that you make on a smaller time frame, like this one right here, you could say that this was a resistance and a support at one time. Then you can go ahead and plot them, but just realize that unless you're on a very, very small time frame, these lines are going to have less impact than a daily chart does, or a weekly or a monthly. The longer the time frame, basically, the bigger the resistance and support line is going to have an impact on your price. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because I don't need that. But like I said, if you're, a day trader and you want to be zooming in over here and actually take trades off of this chart, then you could probably plot those. Now let's go ahead and zoom back out, and then we can go ahead and move on to moving averages. So you're going to click indicators up here, and then you're just going to go to moving averages. You can go ahead and favorite that if you want. So as you can see over here, it gave you the MA9, 9, and 9. If you want to change those, you can just come over here and just go change to the length. Usually we use the 200-day, okay, simple moving average. Then we can use the 50-day simple moving average. And you can probably use the 9 exponential moving average, which is EMA. And then obviously you want to make them different colors. All right, so as you can see here, our blue one is the 200, our 50 is green, and our 9 is yellow. Just realize you can have any length of moving averages that you want. These are just the simple ones that I went ahead and chose for the point of this video. Now, there's a ton of more indicators if you want to go ahead and just go into indicators over here. There's a multitude of different indicators that you can go ahead and use. I know one of them that is really popular is the relative strength index, the RSI. All right, so let's go ahead and take these indicators off, and we're going to go ahead and put the RSI on. All right, so here's the RSI, guys. So basically the RSI is the relative strength index. Basically what the RSI does is it measures the relative strength of the market. So based on momentum and price action at the same time, it'll take and plot a point on the chart, and then obviously it has a line that goes and follows that. And anything above right here will be considered overbought, and then anything below will be considered oversold. So some strategies will basically tell you, oh, you buy when it's oversold and then you sell when it's overbought. Basically for me, I really don't use this, but if you do and you like it, then go ahead and trade with it. The next indicator we're going to look at is the MACD. Some people really like the MACD to use in their trading. They will take certain setups when these 2 points on the graph over here, when they intersect and they start going back down, or they'll have different strategies for how to trade off of the MACD. You can look them up on other channels if you want to. I'm not one that trades off of the MACD, but I can definitely tell you it's here, and I can tell you it's widely used. These are called Bollinger Bands. Some people actually will use them in their trading also, and then, sometimes if the price action gets over it, they, could take a trade. I don't honestly know exactly how it works, but you could definitely look up strategies if you wanted to figure it out. I don't know how I forgot about the VWAP, but the VWAP is also one of the most important indicators that you can possibly have in day trading. VWAP is used basically all the time in day trading when we want to understand exactly where the big dogs are trying to trade around, because usually they buy whenever the price is below the VWAP and then they'll sell whenever it's above during the day. So VWAP can be very useful when day trading. Basically, it stands for the volume weighted average price, and it just weighs the price of the stock, what it usually would be, with taking into account volume, where obviously the price action doesn't. I'm going to say that's all you really need in order to day trade. That's all you probably really need to day trade. I mean, you got to kind of figure out which way that you want to use them and how they work with your strategy. But those are basically all that you're going to need to be able to day trade. Those are all the indicators. And if I were you and I was a beginner, I would learn them, learn the ins and out of them, and then learn exactly how they're going to work with your strategy. For example, the support and resistance strategy, where you take a trade at the support level and then sell at the resistance, or short at the resistance and sell at the support, or however your strategy is supposed to work. So basically, if you find yourself trying to learn all these indicators, there's tons. I mean, look at this. You can just keep scrolling all the way down here. There's tons of indicators. You do not need all of them. Those are basically all the indicators that you're ever going to really use. Basically, the moving averages, exponential moving averages, VWAP, Bollinger Bands, RSI, and then the MACD. That's basically all that you're ever going to use. That's all you're ever really going to need when day trading. So if you're looking into all these other ones, you could probably just stop. Then again, if you have a strategy that needs a certain indicator, then you should probably go and learn that indicator. But for any strategies I've ever learned, those are the only indicators that you're ever going to need. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to my channel, Persistent Trading Group. And if you think I missed any indicators that are really important, go ahead and comment them down below. Thanks, and have a great day.